February 11th, 2021. From El Cajon in San Diego, California, this is episode 226 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting safely at his house is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Dr. Mike, how are you doing? Everybody was asking, we had a live stream with Tim Lawson from The Better Life last week. Everybody was asking how you doing. How are you doing this episode?
Well, better, I guess.
You guess.
Still a little under the weather, but the doctor's working on that. So
Okay, good. Not quite as stuffed up as you used to be?
not as bad, no.
Yeah, good. Well, I'll tell you this, though, Mike. You might be a little under the weather, but you are the king of the 6-point fire bet. You hit another
Yes.
one. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Another one.
It was a night where I actually left before you did, and you hit it after
Right.
I'd gone home.
Yeah, after you gone home, one of the regulars at Harrah's, it was just him and I on the table, and
Yeah.
he rolled all 6 to the fire.
Amazing.
And it was so funny because he needed like a 10 was his last number.
Uh-huh.
And he was came out right on a 10 and picked up the dice and rolled 6-4 again.
Oh,
back
beautiful.
to back, just like that. Yeah, it was so fast.
Oh, that's nice. Gosh, I don't even know how many you've hit now. You know, when we started this podcast, it was like, oh, will we ever hit the fire bet? Will it ever happen? I don't know. What is this, like 5 or 6 times for you now?
Yeah, something like that. I lost track. And we won the impressive progressive.
Right. That's part of it now, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I got $5,000 for the fire bet, which is the maximum at Harrah's, Southern California. And then got $2,500 for the impressive progressive.
Okay. And how did that? So they kind of spin a virtual wheel. Was that on
Yeah.
the lower side of the payouts, or was it
I think that was the lowest.
Oh, okay.
Yep, another $2,500, which you have to report on your taxes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, you got to report just the
$7,500.
5,000 too. You got to report on the taxes too, the regular fire bet. So you're reporting
Right.
anyway. So big deal.
Yeah, I guess. Well, the guy who rolled at Lawrence, when he came out on the 10, I said, "Are you going to lay against it?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no. He said, all I'm going to do is not take odds.
Oh, okay. Sure. All right. Well,
So-
that's one way to do it.
So I looked at him. I said, okay, well, I'll just take single odds,
Okay.
which was $700.
Oh,
So
wow.
I
Yeah, well, of
took-
course. Yeah,
yeah.
you're having a big roll.
Oh,
So,
he had
yeah.
a monster roll.
Yeah.
He rolled so many numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, you know him. He presses like
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
He had a lot of stuff maxed out. So I just put 700 behind, and he rolled it right back.
Oh, that's great. So I'm assuming you did
Yeah.
not lay the 10 either if you put 700
no.
odds.
I just took 700 odds.
Right, yeah.
Didn't lay it. I thought, what the heck, Yeah, we were both happy. And then he made 2 more points after that.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, and he had a monster of a roll.
Well, congratulations. And,
Thanks.
I was telling you today, too, I was listening to the Two Morons podcast. They were saying that at their casino, which we won't reveal, but you can probably figure it out, anybody who's listened to their show, they're getting rid of the repeater bet and replacing it with the fire bet.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like seeing that fire bet come back.
Yeah, so fire bet's coming back to the Strip.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it's better for people because you spend less money. And you're more apt to get the low bettors to just put a few dollars on that than the repeater and stuff. Right?
Yes. It saves you money because you can
Yes.
only bet so much and it's only per shooter. The dealers
Right.
prefer it because they don't have to keep track. The repeater, it's every roll they've got to be putting something out.
Oh, it's
and
a lot of
remembering,
work
right?
with that. Yeah.
So one nice thing about the repeater, though, and they mentioned this on Two Morons, too, is it's got that built-in dealer tip. That's,
Right,
there's
right.
no other bet like that I know of. So that was
No.
nice about the repeater. And that's one
And
reason
that-
maybe dealers might prefer it. But it is less
Yeah.
work with the fire bet.
I don't know if they'd still prefer it because it's so much work.
Yeah.
And that's why they had the built-in dealer thing. So the dealers would, at least have some incentive to want to do
That's
it.
a good point, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things coming to the Strip, this seemed like kind of a big deal. A roll to win table was installed at Harrah's Las Vegas. And we talked about Roll to Win last week. That's the electronic table. In other words, you make all your bets through a screen, but you still get to roll dice. And there is a stick man there that enters the dice rolls into the computer. So it's kind of a hybrid between, a machine and really playing craps. Well, anyway, Harrah's Las Vegas got one, and it made all sorts of news within the Vegas community, like, is this the future of craps? Oh, this is going to be terrible, or it's kind of nice. You should really try it. But it's funny because we've been around the machines now at Harrah's for a good 6 months, and I think the first place we heard about it being installed was at Harrah's Cherokee, maybe a year and a half ago, something like that. So we've talked about it. Listeners have talked about it, but it's finally coming to the Strip. So now everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, you know me. I hope it doesn't catch on, but whatever.
I don't mind if it catches on as long as real craps tables don't go away. That would be the thing that would really bother me, is if they really replaced, the traditional craps tables, because for sure I prefer playing on those.
Right. It just seems more natural, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's that's what the game's based on it, right? You've got 3 dealers. You've got people all around the table. Chips are flying through the air. It's part of the culture of the game. And
it's the interaction.
Yeah, you do miss some of that on the Roll to Win. So I don't mind them coming in, but I hope they don't take over.
Yeah, it's not going to be long before you'll be going to some casino and there'll be like 12 tables. They'll all be Roll to Win. You'll pull up to one, put your money in, you'll look over, and Mr. Data will be right next to you playing and, manipulating the dice. Oh, it'll be terrible, Mark.
No, you know what it's going to be? You'll walk into a casino, they'll scan you, then a printout will show how much you would have lost playing all the games you typically like. You just give them the money, and then you leave.
And then you leave.
Yeah.
No, you go lay in some bed thing, like a tanning bed, and they cover you up, and then it just virtually does it in your head, so you have the experience.
Oh, so you have the experience. Okay. But you're guaranteed to lose. That's the
right. You give them the money ahead of time.
That's right. How much are you willing to lose tonight? Well, I brought $200. Okay, we'll take that. Your experience will reflect that.
Right. And it'll have you up like 10,000.
That's right. They'll tease you.
You lose
I think I'm ready to cash out. Oh, no, sir.
Just one more bet.
Let me out.
That's the way it's going to be. And then the next thing you know, you're in a hallway with Sharon Stone, and it's crazy.
Oh, boy. Oh. Well, I guess this is a pretty good segue. You probably heard about the naked woman that was caught at Circa. In one of their control rooms, she had shut off power to the casino, the hotel, and the parking garage. I guess she had been in the hotel walking around naked, trying to get into doors. They escorted her out, but somehow she got in to this fire control room and shut everything down, all the power down. It was off for like 3 hours. And I know they've been talking about this on the news and other podcasts, but I wanted to bring it up because, naked people in public, that's kind of your thing, Dr. Mike.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering about the whole thing is they got her and they put her out of the casino naked, right?
I doubt that. I doubt they escorted her out naked and just left her out there. I'm sure.
And then she came back in?
She must have taken her clothes.
Where does the naked part work into her grand scheme?
I don't know, Mike. I'm guessing that maybe she was on something or maybe was having some mental issues. That's my guess. But, maybe there was a plan behind it. I don't know. I don't know how the nakedness actually fit into her plan.
I'll tell you, that's Sharon Stone.
So, have you seen naked people, lately? I know nobody's going out as much as they used to, but...
No. Well, we saw a naked guy at the Super Bowl, almost naked.
Well, okay, but, the whole world saw that. I don't count that. that. Yeah.
It'd be funny if we did see a naked person run through the casino with just a mask on. And like maybe a double mask just to be for safety's sake.
Well, he's, at least he's social distancing and he's taking precautions.
Right. He's running. Admire that. He doesn't want to get
and he's running. Yeah, that's right. He doesn't want to get infected and he doesn't want to infect anyone with the COVID anyway.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah, that's quite a story. Locks herself in the control room.
Yeah.
Now, Should there be a little security around the one room that controls all the power to everything?
That's another issue too. Is a lot of these stories say that it's a secured room. Well, how secure was it? If a naked woman, I'm assuming she didn't have any tools on her, was able to get into the room.
She must have had a lockpick hidden somewhere, Mark. That's what I was thinking is, where did she get the lockpick? I mean, that would be the least she'd need if she had power tools and drills.
Well, apparently they're beefing up security, so to speak. So
yeah. So as I understand your story here, a naked, deranged woman was able to break into a secure room and paralyze the casino.
That's correct. Yes.
All right. Just want to make sure I got the facts. We should maybe deranged should be all in capitals. I'll add that in there.
Yeah, I don't know that she was deranged, though. I think that's a word that you actually provided. So, you could jump to conclusions, but I don't remember seeing deranged in any of the reports.
Well, if there was like something on her body, some part of clothing, I might leave deranged off and think she was just some kind of,
exhibitionist
person.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. Honestly, if you don't want to draw attention, maybe naked in a hallway in Vegas is probably a good way to go.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, if you don't want to draw attention. Because
there's another naked person. Just ignore him, Martha. Keep walking.
Especially if you're Dr. Mike and you don't want to draw his attention. Because he'll take a quick look and, business as usual.
Yeah, business as usual.
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to some voicemails. First up is our friend Melanie.
Hello, Dr. Mike. Hello, Mark. This is fully vaccinated Melanie from Colorado. I'm just watching the snow come down, wishing I was somewhere warm, gambling in a casino, playing craps preferably. Here in Colorado, we still don't have table games. We had them for all of 2 months between September and November. They took them away with no target date to return that I'm aware of. So I am really enjoying your show and all the stories, as I always do, but especially now since I can't really go enjoy it myself. But I know it's not the full casino experience, but I really enjoy all your callers. The one who called in about the digital dice, that just blew my mind. I mean, come on, at least get the cubes, like the physical cubes, even if they are not able to be held by us. At least they're bouncing around. You have that moment of anticipation that's kind of fun. So anyway, love the show, love your callers, and really hope to be out there again soon. Oh, I also want to say I can no longer listen to your podcast in public. For example, like if I'm at the grocery store, because I literally have laughed out loud numerous of times. Mark, your laugh is contagious. And Dr. Mike, I was laughing so hard when you were like, what do you mean a 6-pack of Pepsi is not a worthy gift? That's totally worth it. So I love that. It's so funny. About the iron skillet, I use one every day. And if I had been given one as a gift by a casino, it'd be even more special. Also wanted to say the plug-in hot water heater, the kettle, those are outstanding, especially for pandemic travel. If you get into a bind where everything's closed and you just aren't able to get food to go or you can't eat in a restaurant, that works great for anything from those mac and cheese cups to oatmeal to heating up your own water for tea. Those are super handy. I love that you were given one as a gift. All right, guys, keep up the great work. I really appreciate the fact that you are keeping us entertained during the longest, it's Saturday, so now the longest 8 days of the year between the championships and the Super Bowl. So, all right, go Chiefs and keep up the great work. Dr. Mike and Mark, just love it.
Yeah, so sorry about that, Melanie. Sorry about the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was not much of a game, was it, Dr. Mike?
No, it wasn't. I got a couple things to say. Right before the Super Bowl, Melanie emailed me a picture of her in her, I assume her backyard, and the snow-covered mountains behind her there in Colorado and stuff. Oh, my God. My girls and I were looking at it. We were like, oh, geez, that'd be so nice to be there. Yeah. And we're here, and I'm thinking, oh, I hate to even say this, Melanie, but Mark and I made 2 bets, and one was the money line on Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Which we won. And the other was the over on the number of field goals, which we won.
Yeah, we took 3.5, over 3.5 field goals, and there were 4 field goals, so we won that too. I think that was like plus 105. So, yeah, we made some money.
We got plus 105, yeah. which thanks to our friend Dave who suggested that. He saw it a few days before. I hadn't even looked. I wasn't even going to look till the night before the Super Bowl, but he noticed it and we bet it. So that was great. Yeah, it wasn't that good a game. Kansas City just never seemed to be in it.
They really didn't. Gosh.
You know what? I hate to say this because I don't really believe in conspiracies that much.
Oh,
but
God.
the Super Bowl's always about who the NFL wants to win.
And
they know that Patrick Mahomes is going to have a lot more Super Bowls in him.
Uh-huh.
And I think they just wanted Brady to have one more.
The NFL conspired to even though most people were rooting against Tom Brady, you think
Right.
the
Most of the
NFL
betting.
conspired to have a lopsided Super Bowl where people maybe
No,
stopped watching,
I don't think
so
they
they're
wanted
not getting the
lopsided.
ratings.
No,
And-
I didn't say lopsided. I said they wanted New England. I'm sorry, I keep saying New England. They wanted Tampa Bay to win.
So what exactly did the NFL do, Dr. Mike, to ensure
those-
that Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl?
Some of those calls are a little questionable.
The calls are always questionable, but there was never
some of them were
anything
ticky-tack.
terrible.
Some
No.
of them were ticky-tack.
Oh, my
Mark.
God. Send
Early
your
in the game.
emails. Make sure you put in the subject, this is for
hey.
Dr. Mike.
True or not true, Mark? True or not true? The NFL sued a mom and pop furniture place for putting an ad in a paper that said they were having a Super Bowl sale.
Oh, I'm sure it's true. Hey, do you think I'm
It's
sitting here
true.
defending
Believe
the
me, it's
NFL? Well, I'm
The
not. This is
NFL
a completely separate thing. There's no way I'm going to defend the NFL. I'm just saying that they weren't clandestinely behind this Super Bowl win for Tampa
Oh,
Bay.
Mark, you are so
I'm
naive.
so naive, aren't I?
The NFL, the CIA, they're one and the same, Mark.
Okay, here
one
we go.
and the same.
Yeah. Now I'm just see at this point now. Why am I even going to open my mouth? What can I say now?
How do you think I knew to bet on Tampa Bay?
That's a good point. Now, yeah, maybe you've convinced me with that last sentence.
I didn't really care who won because I have friends on both sides of that coin there.
Yeah.
You know what? We had people we know who love Kansas City. We had people we know who wanted Tampa Bay to win. I didn't really care, but honestly, I had this really, really good feeling that Tampa Bay was going to win that game.
All right. Well, good for you. Congratulations, I guess. Yeah, Mike was the one who picked the bets for us, so I'll give you all the credit.
Maybe it's not a conspiracy, but it's fun to think that way.
Yeah. Oh, Melanie made a good point. I never thought it. You were talking about that teapot last time, just going on and on about it. Yeah, it'd be great for taking on a trip, a hotel room where you need hot water.
Sure.
Oh, smart.
Well, and you take a teapot and you take some top ramen with you.
Yeah.
You can live for months. Mark,
Amazing.
on top ramen.
Amazing.
Some people don't even cook it. Do you know that?
The ramen, they just eat it straight from
ramen.
the package?
They just eat it straight from the package. One of my daughters was saying one of her friends just eats it straight from the package.
Okay.
Like crunchy noodles. I'm
Mhm.
like, ugh.
Right.
No, I have to heat mine. Did you use the flavor packet when you ate it? or did
I've
you
never
not?
I've never bought or eaten ramen noodles from the store.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Oh my God, you're the only person in America, Mark. That's your new moniker. You're the only person that's never eaten, and you went to college.
Yeah, I'm more of a mac and cheese guy.
Most of us in college lived on top ramen.
Yeah, I ate a lot of tuna.
Oh my! Well, I did too for a change, but everyone ate top ramen. Mark, you could buy 10 for $1.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes they had 20 for $1. They were like a nickel. That was dinner for a nickel.
Yeah, it's. I don't
Oh
know
my
what.
God.
I don't know what to tell you.
This is shocking.
Send your email and in the subject line say, this is for Mark.
Boy, we've learned two very important things about you tonight. You've never eaten top ramen, and you think the NFL is legit.
Let's try to get back to gambling here. Let's hear from Marcel.
Wait, one more thing for Melanie.
Go.
Yeah, I agree with her. They need to have some kind of interaction on that where it's just the virtual dice.
Oh, the roll to win
down the
virtual
table.
craps. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think
even worse
yeah.
than bubble crap.
I don't think that will catch on, to be honest. I mean, now
No.
some places are putting it in. Like Sonny last week was talking about how they're in Florida. Well, Florida can't legally have the roll to win with real dice and, a single dealer there, right? It's a
Right.
matter of the law. So, that's their way to kind of get around it. So, but for,
But I would
places that
think-
have real craps tables, I don't see that catching on.
No, and I would think if you were going to do that, then why not just have a slot machine? Those newer big ones. that just roll.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Well, we talked about that, right? Somebody actually contacted us about some machines where you can play roulette, blackjack, or craps just right on the machine. And
Right.
yeah, that's all
Just
virtual.
like you do on your phone.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So why would you have to have a bunch of people around the thing? You just have machines around the casino that play,
Yeah.
craps, or you could have blackjack, craps, or roulette on the same machine.
Yeah, I
They
don't
just
I
did,
don't see
right?
this particular one with the virtual dice catching on. Yeah.
No, that's a bad one.
All right, next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. It's Marcel from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada calling. It's now been over a year since I've stepped foot in a casino. We closed down pretty quickly when COVID hit, and then we opened up, some of them opened up for a while, but it was just slots, and you had to make like an appointment where you come in at, say, 1 o'clock, and you can stay for 2 hours, and then, yeah, it wasn't worth my time. I'm not a big slot player. So now we're just waiting for things to open up. Hopefully with this vaccine and everything, we can do it. It's been nice to hear all the other stories from you guys in the States, people gambling. So it's nice to see it's going on somewhere. I think I'll just leave with a quick story of the first time my wife played 3-card poker. She sat down with me. I gave her like $40 to play. She bet all the bets and opens up 3-of-a-kind threes. She looks at me and she's like, "What do I do?" I'm like, "Well, you bet." So she bet, and wouldn't you know it, the dealer had the other 3. So it was like $400 or $500 she won just firsthand. It was friggin' awesome. All right. I hope you guys stay safe and keep up the stories. It's been keeping me going. All right. Take it easy. Bye.
All right, thanks, Marcel. Yeah, another good story about somebody playing 3-card poker for the first time.
Yeah, it's that first time, beginner's luck, right?
Yep. And your wife, did she have 3-of-a-kind also? I don't think she made quads with the dealer, but did she have 3-of-a-kind?
No, she had 3-of-a-kind, but no quads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't remember. She might remember, but I don't remember what it was. But she opened it up 3-of-a-kind after the table was so cold and everyone's losing, and she sits down and wins.
Yeah, we got to get back to normal, especially people who are confined to the casinos. Yeah, where you have to make an appointment and then you can only stay for a certain amount of time.
Oh,
yeah, that's.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Mark, that would be hell for us.
Oh, well, of course. Oh my gosh.
Just knowing, we got 10 more minutes. We got 5 more minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
God.
It's like, and then I got to leave. One nice thing about, at least when we go out on the weekend and we're staying out late, is we don't have a real cutoff time. I mean, certainly we don't stay till 2 a.m, but at least it's like, oh, you want to stay a little longer? Yeah, let's stay a little longer. So yeah, that's part of the fun.
Yeah, and I will say Harrah's Southern Cal has been pretty good about making people stay away from each other and keep their mask on.
Yeah.
They remind people. And if you make a comment and say, hey, this guy's got his mask down, they'll get on their case.
Yeah, I did.
They have no problem with that.
Yeah,
so.
they are good about it. In fact, Mike, you and I were talking about it. The local paper actually had a list of San Diego area casinos and how many COVID cases had come out of the casinos,
Right.
Like how many
Supposed.
players, I'm not sure how they tracked it, but they got a list of how many people were infected who had visited the casinos. And Harrah's Southern California was down on the list as having,
Right.
fewer cases than a lot of the others. So it is good.
Right. So they're doing their part just like everyone else, every other business in America.
Yeah. Well, a few episodes back, we were talking about, hey, are we going to have another poker tournament? And we said, yeah, maybe we'll have one in March on that Selection Sunday for March Madness. And we're definitely going to. So let's talk about that right now. Sunday, March 14th, 2021. Again, that's the Sunday right before March Madness starts. It's when they select all the teams. We're going to have it the same time as our previous one. So that's 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, an online Texas Hold'em poker tournament. One thing to keep in mind, that Sunday is the beginning of daylight saving time. So be sure to change your clocks or you'll be an hour late. That's mostly for baby boomers like us and olders who actually, have clocks on the wall and change them. I think everybody else, the phones are going to change on their own. But just be aware that, the time will be going an hour forward, so we don't want you to be late. Sunday,
I thought you were going to say that was mostly for Vito, but go on.
Yeah, well, baby boomers and Vito, that's good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. It's a play money tournament. There's no entry fee, but we are going to be giving away prizes like we did last time. Probably be very similar to what we did last time as far as the prizes go. Amazon gift cards for first, second, and third place. And for people, well, there'll be bounties on Dr. Mike and me. So if you take us out of the tournament, you'll also get an Amazon gift card. And certainly other podcasters are welcome. So everybody else out there who runs a podcast, please, come and have fun. It'll be fun to have some other podcasters in the mix as well. Now, if you're already a member of our home games group, you don't need to reapply. And certainly that would be anyone who played in our last tournament. You're already in our group. So all you'll need to do is register for the upcoming tournament. Now, if you're not yet in our home games group, here's what you'll need to do. If you don't already have a PokerStars account, that's the first thing you need to do. So download the app. If you're using a PC or a Mac, just go to pokerstars.bet and click on download. And if you're using a mobile device, be sure to download the app called PokerStars Play Money Poker, or in some cases, it's called PokerStars Lite. Then create an account. It's completely free. You'll need to come up with a username. For example, I'm YCBOT Mark, and Dr. Mike is YCBOT Dr. Mike. You'll get a certain amount of play money chips to begin with when you sign up for an account. You can get an additional 15,000 in play money chips every 4 hours at PokerStars by clicking on the free chips button at the top of their homepage. The reason this is important is because you'll need 20,000 in chips to enter the tournament. Okay, so once you've got an account with PokerStars, send us an email with your PokerStars username. We want to be able to associate everyone's PokerStars username with an email address, because if you win one of the prizes, we're going to send it to your email. We will not use your email for any other purpose. So once we get your email, we'll send you an invitation to join our poker club. Follow the instructions in the invitation, and we'll add you to the poker club. If we receive a response to an invitation for a PokerStars username that we have not received an email from, we will not add that username to the club. So I'm not happy with my wording there. The idea is we need an email address for every PokerStars username that we add to our club. And then finally, just sign up for the tournament. So this applies to everybody who's already in our group and for everybody who gets the invitation and we add to the group. If you go to the PokerStars app and you click on the home games icon, in the next window, you'll see our tournament. It says you can bet on that. I think it says like second semi-annual tournament, something like that, listed under My Scheduled Tournaments. Double-click on the tournament, and on the next screen, click Register. And again, it'll cost you 20,000 in play money chips to register. Now, I haven't actually created the tournament as of this recording because they won't let you create a tournament that's more than 30 days out. So over the weekend, we will be 30 days out. So this coming weekend, Saturday or Sunday, I'll probably create the tournament. By Monday, February 15th, you'll be able to see the tournament there, and you'll be able to register anytime up until the actual tournament. And also, I won't send any invitations out until the tournament is actually up there too. So if you email us and you don't get a response from me right away, just wait. So again, March 14th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Don't forget, it's also the first day of daylight saving time. Mike, did I forget anything?
Well, one thing I wanted to add that's not particularly important to joining, but just so people know, we do not get to pick who ends up on what table.
That's correct.
PokerStars does all that. So, if Mark and I are on the same table, or if you and a friend, want to be on the same table, that's probably not going to happen.
Right.
Depending on how many people sign up, there'll be multiple tables. Now, you can view other tables, so you can see us, you can send us messages, but, we can't pick and choose who we want on tables.
Yeah.
Otherwise we would distance ourselves from people we know just to kind of
right. So
make things more interesting. But,
that's a good point too, because there's some people who will not have the chance to play against us, and wouldn't have a chance at our bounty either. But you make a good point. Yeah, we have no control over what table you're at or what table we're at. But anyway, we're more than a month out, and we're going to talk about it on the next 2 episodes as well. But we wanted to give people more of a chance than we did last time. Last time was kind of rushed, and some people didn't even know about it till after it was over. So hopefully this is enough time for people to register. And speaking of poker, Dr. Mike, something we haven't talked about in a long time is a home poker game. You know, it used to be almost every episode we'd say, oh, you know, here's a game you can play in your home game. And we kind of just ran out of games. So we stopped. But I'll tell you what, let's talk about one that maybe listeners have heard of. The most common name for this is Blind Man's Bluff. And, you know, I don't know, apologies to any of our blind listeners. I did see where in some parts of the country it's called Oklahoma Forehead. So maybe we'll just refer to that.
Oklahoma Forehead.
Oklahoma Forehead. So,
all right, I like that.
Yeah. It's very simple. Basically, what happens is your hole cards can be seen by everybody else at the table except for you. And typically, Oklahoma Forehead is played 5-card stud. So what would happen is everybody's dealt one card face down, and then every player takes that card and pulls it up to their forehead so that they can't see it. They don't see what it is, but now everybody else at the table can see their card. And then the rest of the game is dealt just like 5-card stud, right? The next 4 cards are all dealt face up, right? So you'd have one on your head, everybody would get a face-up card, and then there'd be a betting round. And then everybody would get another face-up card and a betting round, all the way until you have 4 cards on the table that everybody can see, and then your down card, which only everyone else can see. Now, it's kind of a strange game because everybody can see exactly what your hand is. You don't really know. So, you know, if you look down and you've got, 4 cards to an outside straight, oh, maybe you've got that straight. But then everybody else knows whether you do or not, right? So, if you really have the straight, do they try to bluff you? If you don't have the straight, do they try to keep you in? High cards are very important. It's like, oh gosh, I've got an ace and a king in my 4 cards there that are on the table. I wonder if I have an ace or a king on my forehead. So it's weird because you're betting on, even less information than you normally have about your own hand, but a lot of information about everybody else's hand. I think this game will play better if it's with a lot of loose players.
Exactly. I think that's right.
Yeah, because, tight players, if, their first card is like a 6, they're just going to fold. Maybe if their first card is a jack, they might fold to any kind of bet.
Yeah, and they might have a pair of jacks, but, they're tight players. They don't know. They figure they've got jack 2. So
right. And, if they do have a pair of jacks, well, other players will try to bet to get them to fold. Are you smart enough to know that that's what they're doing? But I think for the most part, you want to play the game with a lot of loose players who, make a lot of calls during your regular poker game because they're more likely to stay in a game like this. And, also with kind of timid players, maybe you forget those first 2 cards, one that you see and the one you don't, and it just checks all around, and then suddenly you're getting more cards. That could absolutely happen as well. Although if I had an ace, if my first up card was an ace, I'd probably bet it pretty hard, not knowing what my forehead card was, but oh well, right? That's a big card, and then see what happens. So yeah, that's Oklahoma Forehead. Not much more to talk about it. It's not played very often because it doesn't play all that well as a poker game. It's certainly more of a novelty game, and it might be fun to play every once in a while. And, it's fun when somebody has a really good hand and they don't know it, but again, it's only one card that you could play it different ways. You could play Texas Hold'em, right? Where both of your down cards are actually up at your forehead and you can't see them. That's really something, right? You know what everybody else's hand is, but not yours. So there are a lot of different variations. You can kind of fool around with it and see what the dynamics are for your home game because it's really going to depend on how tight or how loose your players are.
Yeah, when PokerStars gets this Oklahoma Forehead on their list of poker games, we'll have to have a tournament of that.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah. We'll have to do it with people we trust, though, because, all somebody would have to do is have 2 accounts, right? That's bad enough when you're playing real poker, but in this,
right.
You'd know every single hand.
We need to find people who don't understand computers that well and play Oklahoma Forehead with them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dr. Mike, you win again. You're clairvoyant.
That'll be our money-making scam, Mark. Forget this owning a casino stuff.
Our money-making scam. Yeah, I don't think it'll last very long, though. We're going to have to get as much money as we can and then hit the road. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Kind of a short episode. We haven't been getting as many calls as we usually do. And that's not surprising. People just aren't able to gamble like they used to.
No, and we actually, haven't gone anywhere really other than our 2 trips to Vegas. And we haven't been staying as long as the casino. And it's kind of muted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. You kind of mentioned that last time. Right. It's not quite as loud and exciting.
I mean, we're probably not going to see a naked person.
Probably not.
There's not a lot of stuff going on out at the pool.
Right.
So, you're not going to, see drunks coming from the pool who've been drinking all day.
Yeah,
and,
out in the sun.
It's muted.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of miss the drunks.
Yeah.
To be honest.
All right. Well, we want to thank some people for some recurring PayPal donations. Donations from James, Kurt, Justin, and Robin from Anytime Gambling. Thanks for those recurring donations. Hey, we also got a donation from the guys over at the 99% Craps podcast. They said a karma donation for our New Orleans and Biloxi trip starting Monday, February 8th. So they're probably in the middle of that trip right now, if it's not already over yet. So hopefully they had some good luck. This past year with COVID and everything, one of the co-hosts actually had a cancer scare here about a year and a half ago, and he's been battling cancer. And so, he's been very careful during the pandemic, but he's back, in the car. They're both going together now out on trips. So that's really great news to hear.
That's very good news to hear.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll have some great luck down there and come back with a trunk full of money.
Yeah, hopefully we hear some good stories. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listing showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks at youcanbetonthat.com/TV-listings and our list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonthat.com/movies. And I just added a bunch of new movies too now. Man, our list is really big. I'm trying to make it as comprehensive as possible. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review of the show. We love getting your feedback. What do you got, Dr. Mike?
Hey, well, I don't know if you saw this, but like a week ago, the San Diego Union Tribune put in their sports page the starting 5 Padre pitchers versus the starting 5 Dodger pitchers.
Okay.
Projected starting 5. And oh my God, it is unbelievable. Those are 2 teams that are loaded with starters. I mean, both teams have 4 of their top 5 starters would probably be the number 1 starter on other teams.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a baseball season, Mark. I am very excited about this. And, it's the Padres. I don't want to get my hopes up or anything. Right. But they look like they're going to be a pretty decent team. So I hope there's a baseball season. I hope it's somewhat normal.
I hope it's a full season as much as it can be, whether or not there are fans back. Of course, I'd like fans back, but I hope it's a full season.
Yes, I do too. And not some, I don't know. Well, we stopped betting on NCAA basketball because of COVID. It's so messed up. There's a lot of postponed games. There's a lot of games that are completely canceled.
Yeah.
There's games where, the star of the team doesn't play for some COVID reason,
Yeah, it was a real drain on our sports betting account for sure.
Yeah, well, it's unpredictable. I was reading an article about that too, where they said probably one of the most unpredictable years to bet on college basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, some teams, even like Baylor, ranked like 2nd in the nation, they had like a 10-day period where they didn't play because of COVID.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, you're playing and you're in this groove and then all of a sudden you're off for 10 days.
Yeah.
Stuff like that makes it really, really hard. So I hope baseball comes back and it's a little more normal. And, baseball is one of those things, they can't really play that in one place like the NBA did down in Florida.
Yeah. I mean, you could have them in the spring training areas. I mean, that would make the most sense if you were really trying to isolate.
Right. And their travel is close and stuff. You can drive from game to game. So I don't know how they're going to work that out, but I'm hoping that if numbers stay down, that we'll have the start of baseball on time and we'll have a real baseball season.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Yeah.
And of course, I mean, I'm still excited about the NCAA tournament.
Sure.
San Diego State's doing pretty good. And as a matter of fact, the Mountain West is most people are projecting to have 4 teams in the tournament,
That'd be great.
which is like monster for us, because usually it's 2, sometimes 3, but 4 teams in there would be great.
All right. Well, anything else?
No, I got nothing else. I hope everyone's staying healthy and safe. That's the main thing. We get through this and get back to our normal life. And then expect an announcement from You Can Bet on That about a big Vegas whoop-de-doo.
Looking forward to that. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
All right. Good night.
Oh, sweet mother, I love you, Dr. Mike.